Console and portable gaming have coexisted since the original Game Boy, but in the past, portable gaming has always been behind in terms of graphical capabilities, improving every generation until both versions were the same game. And I always found the 6th generation most interesting when comparing the console versions to the portable counterparts. One exception was Super Monkey Ball Jr. You see, in those games, console games looked like this. And here's the portable version. Console game, GBA game. Most 3D games were changed to 2D games, but one game went above and beyond. Super Monkey Ball Jr. Sega saw what other developers had done and said, nah, we can fit the full console version onto the Game Boy Advance, no biggie. So here you can see the Game Boy Advance version on the left and the GameCube on the right. Basically, the games are exactly the same, except for the watered-down graphics on the Game Boy Advance. But hey, compared to the other games, Super Monkey Ball Jr. looks great. The Monkey Ball Jr. game has the main mode of the console version, and it does have the 4 difficulties in the game. It has 74 levels, and a lot of them are the same levels from the console version, as I showed with the first level in beginner mode. The controls are the same as well. You use the D-pad to tilt the stage and move the character. You can also use A to accelerate and press B to slow down. Now sure, as you can imagine, the controls are a bit stiffer due to using the D-pad instead of an analog stick, but it gets the job done. However, towards the harder levels in the game, it does become difficult to maneuver precisely without the analog stick, and the camera always seems to be getting in my way. But there is a trick to move the camera. You slow it down and you kind of press the D-pad diagonally, slowly to rotate the camera while you tilt the stage. As I mentioned before, the game is difficult to control with the Game Boy Advance's D-pad, which means you'll encounter a lot of this, and some of these as well. In advanced mode, the levels are hard, but it can be passed without too much of an issue. The game starts to throw some curveballs once you get to expert mode and beyond. But then, the master levels. It's monkey hell. It looks like a level from Doom. The 4th level was the furthest I could get. And this level on the surface doesn't seem too crazy, but I swear the floor feels like they spilled cooking oil, and the controls are super sensitive. One tiny slip up and your character loses all control, and it's all over. Still, the game is really fun, and it does have a lot of replay value, not just from the main game, but also from the minigames. The minigames are comprised of 4 minigames, one of them being a multiplayer-only minigame called Monkey Duel. But I couldn't get my games to link up. It's a shame because these minigames would be a blast to play against other people. Regardless, it is cool to see that the minigames were included in the handheld version. So the first minigame, Monkey Fight, is pretty much self-explanatory. You choose a monkey, and you fight. You basically mash the 8 button and try to knock off an opponent. It has power-ups, and each round is about a minute long. And the winner at the end is the one with the most knockouts. It's chaotic, but it'd be perfect to play with others if you get the chance. Next up is Monkey Bowling. Yep, it's bowling, if you happen to be a monkey in a ball. So you have to stop the cursor in the direction you want to go, and then decide the amount of power. You can also hold L and R to give yourself a spin. It is a faithful port of the console version. In fact, all 3 of these minigames are exactly like the console version, just like in the main game. Though the GBA is missing the popular flying minigame, but it has golf. Out of the 3 minigames, this one's probably the worst one. But not because it wasn't fun, but because it's kinda difficult. I kept falling off the stage, and maybe golf isn't the best game when you're on a platform, in the middle of the sky. My score was pretty bad, but I didn't purchase Mario Golf Super Rush to not get at least 1 hole-in-one. Well, now that I've covered the minigames, it's pretty much all this game has to offer. There is a practice mode, and you do have to unlock things using the play points you accumulate throughout the game. There is another interesting part of the game Sega also included. cheat codes. Yep, if you struggle in the game like me, you can enable cheat codes to help you along. It even includes the infamous Konami code, and each time you input a cheat code, you get a little Easter egg title screen. Okay, so this port isn't perfect, but for a game that came out in 2002, 2 decades ago, it is surprising how little was cut from the console games, and Super Monkey Ball Jr. showed what the GBA was capable of early in its lifespan. Later on in Nintendo handhelds, there was a DS and a 3DS game, and I think Super Monkey Ball Jr. deserves a look for fans of the series to see what the first handheld Super Monkey Ball had to offer.